Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. NC4XL, North Carolina for extreme lovers. I'm not. Just Dom, the darling old man. I welcome you to a series of 4 videos that I'm going to try to produce, and this is strictly to help, not discourage any new Parks on the Air members who've just recently joined, and there's so much. We'll start out with the first things first. This is not to replace the frequently asked question section when you enroll, if we can use that term, or sign up, whatever. So please take the time to cruise through, take notes, whatever you do on the frequently asked questions. But what I've done is tried to create a list, and I'm old school. I do everything paper-wise. But I've got 4 sections of most commonly asked questions by new hunters and new activators. Okay, this is to not replace the frequently asked questions. You notice I'm emphasizing that. It's an important section, it really is. And it's not to replace anybody else that is an activator or a hunter that has created some very educational YouTube channels. You do not have to subscribe. You do not have to like. You can laugh all you want. This is unprofessional. It's unedited. It's raw. It's just me, myself, and I sharing. So here we go. We're going to start out with some of the basics. One of the biggest questions we hear all the time, I have a park near me. How can I get it added? How can I get it added? It's not going to help. What you can do, if you have parks that are close to you and you feel that they should be on the POTA list, then please correspond with your park coordinator. In other words, find out who in your area is the park coordinator and provide them the coordinates of the park. Yeah, even down to that. It's not a simple thing. We just see a name on a sign and we call it a park and we're going to get it in. No, there's criteria that you do not understand has to be met before a park can become in the POTA entity listings. So send the coordinates, send the name of the park, the location to your mapping coordinator. The mapping coordinator will take care of it from there. Then let it go. Drop it off. Follow up with it. But the simple thing is, just because it's near you is not a good reason to have it there. Okay, we have over 10,000 parks presently. And they have a criteria. And I know you want it next to you so you could just drive to it, but it doesn't work that way. It would be nice. So enough of that. That question, you'll hear it over and over. And it's the same thing. Send it to your mapping coordinator and then go on about your business, get on the air, and go have fun. The next one, 2 ways. You have a busted call. You're an activator. Simple answer, put down what you heard. Put down what you heard. Okay, there are other means of having verifications. One will be the spotting page. This is where, as an activator, I always would suggest you check the spotting page as you're going through your activation, especially before you go QRT, before you type QRT, even though you got 30 minutes, and see who's spotted, just in case you have some questionable call signs. Your DX stations, your new activators, listen up real quick. Your DX stations more than likely are going to spot you from their country with their call sign, with and or their park or parks. So use that as another training tool. That's not cheating. That's using what is available before the availability is gone. Another one, hunters. When you're listening to an activator, the activator may not be like what you want them to be to give the call sign every time. And in the middle of the conversation, you'll ask, well, what is your call sign? What is your call sign? Possibly get on the spotting page and check that frequency and take a look instead of, and you're not affecting them, but as an activator, many times, what is your call sign? Well, that's a failure on my part, probably because I'm not giving it as much as they, the listener, want to hear it. So it's a two-way street. If you hear something, write it down or put it in your device. If it doesn't come up, then one of two things happen. They're not current, or they're not in it, or you fat-fingered it. It happens. Put down what you hear. There are other means of checking Slack, which is another program. But this is a short video. For those of you doing worked all states, and you wonder, I haven't got Alaska, but I just got my worked all states. What did I do? Okay. Worked all states has a wild card. Wild card, that's DC. So if you're working for Alaska and Hawaii and you got DC and you finally pick up Alaska and Hawaii, we only use those as an example. You pick up one of those two, and all of a sudden you get a notification in your awards section, and you need to learn to check that daily. But anyways, a notification that you got worked all state certificate. That's because DC is considered a wild card and will give you the 50th. Many of us like to work all 51. But to get that worked all states, DC's a wild card. Now, if you're working Canadian stations, there is an achievement for worked all provinces. There's 3 territories in 10 provinces. Okay. Google search it. It'll show you the provinces that are listed and the 3 territories. The 3 territories are not included in the certificate. But I work them anyways in case somewhere down the line POTA decides to add something to the achievement. But worked all provinces in Canada is a challenge. And it's another opportunity for you to be chasing all the Canadians that you hear out there that are in the park in that part of the country. Next topic. Map making. You see, some of us do different types of maps. Now, I'm only going to talk about 2 that I use. I don't know all the answers. I don't use all the stuff that's out there. So I'm only going to share what I have. I have a video for QSOmap.com. QSOmap.com costs you X number of dollars every year. I use it because it provides me a style of map. And I have a video on how to get around that program. Feel free to look it up. The other one that I use, and this is my logging program all the time, besides paper and pencil, is N3FJP. And if you're in the N3FJP, again, I have information there on how to get around the program to create the maps. Very simple. When you have a log done and you opened it up and you see all the contacts you made, up at the very top is a word, awards. Click on it. Over to the left, you want the very top of it to be blank, and down you see the word calculate. Click on it, and when you click on it, it's going to give you state count and so forth. Well, above the state count in a little gray box, it allows you to click on it and produce a map. Over on the left-hand side, it allows you to change the band and hit calculate again and create another map. That's just 2 programs that I use. The last topic on this video is very simple. If you're new to Parks on the Air, we welcome you. There are a few of us that got out of amateur radio because of clicks and Geritol nets and just bad ham, sad ham operators that just really didn't strike us very good, so we just quit it. Or life got in the way. Or we got married or divorced, or we went into service. There's a lot of reasons, but you're back. And many of us have been revitalized. I've been crazily revitalized. But you don't have to do like me. I want you to do better than me. Find an Elmer. Find somebody you can talk with about your questions and don't have to put it on Facebook, because Facebook can be very nasty and rough because a lot of us old timers forget what it was like to be a new ham. In your club, you may find some people that are involved in Parks on the Air. Whether you want an Elmer in CW, Morse code, or you want an Elmer in a single sideband, or you want an Elmer in digital, or an Elmer in making antennas, or an Elmer in logging, or an Elmer, find, if you can, someone that you can share the learning process with. Or turn it around and do like some of us, and I'm going to pat myself on the back and become an Elmer, a mentor, a guide, a venting post, a listening post to learning amateur radio or experience in amateur radio, and especially in Parks on the Air. That's this first video. I thank you for your time. May God bless you. You do not have to like or subscribe. I'm not here selling anything. I'm just out trying to share knowledge. It's free, and we learn from one another. North Carolina for extreme lovers. I hope you watch the next one if you got time. Oh, I'm not. I'm just Dom, the darling old man, 73s.